this is Jenny from Homestead Corner, and today we're gonna can up some oranges. So this is another one of those super simple, easy canning projects that it's really, I don't think it could be any simpler. You just want to peel your oranges. You want to start with that. You want to make sure they're super clean. I've already washed all these, so we've got nice clean, because I save these peels. We want to save all the peels on this, so you don't have to, but I use them. There's so many uses for the peels. And if you have one of these little citrus peelers, I love this thing. My mom bought these back in the 70s, I think, and she gave me a couple of them, and I just love them. The Tupperware has been around forever. And this is really easy. Just pull these skins off and peel just like you would to eat it. I just pull those right out. And you just want to try and get as much of this white membrane off as you can. And a lot of times while you're pulling it apart, it is going to come right off, a lot of it. So I just pull each little node off like that and throw them in a bowl. It's that hard. Any stringy pieces, I try to pull those off. It's a little time consuming getting all this stuff off, but it's well worth it. They're ready to just pop right in your mouth when you take them out of the jar. Yum, yum. So I'm just going to keep going, peeling and getting all these little nodes apart, and I will bring you back when we get to the next step. Well, that was a lot of oranges. We don't have quite as many as we started with because they're really delicious and we were snacking on them while we were peeling them. So I've got all my oranges peeled and into the little orange node pieces, and I've got as much of the little white membrane off as I can. So while we were finishing up the last couple oranges, I got a pot of hot water, just plain old water. I brought it to a boil. And this is what we're going to put in our jars. These oranges are plenty sweet enough. I don't think they need any sugar. You could do a simple syrup. Lots of people do it that way. But I don't. I think they have plenty of sugar, natural sugars, all on their own. So I am just going to take and start filling jars. So I have these in the hot water bath canner. And I have heated them up so they're nice and sterilized and hot. Now, our oranges are like room temperature, so they will be fine in there. And I am just gonna start putting these in. You wanna make sure you have super clean hands. Oh, there's a little crazy piece. Get that off. And just pop these in. And we wanna shake them down and, oh, it's hot. And just pack them in nice and tight. You don't want, they're going to shrink a little bit, so you want to get them in there. You want to get them kind of tight in there, so you can kind of arrange them and poke them around. Get them in there how you like them. So I want to kind of squish them in, and I like to leave 1 inch headspace, which is right about this rim. You can use a funnel for this, but I find it to kind of be a pain in the butt, so I just stick the oranges in and then use the funnel for the liquid. And we will fill up this jar as well, so you can see 2. And this is really super simple and easy to do. I love these easy canning projects, and in the winter time, fresh fruits and citruses, all these canned fruits are just such a nice, comforting taste, and oh my goodness, they're great. You can add them to recipes. You can do all kinds of stuff with this. they're not gonna settle too much, but I'm gonna get that right in there. And Brenda, this is for you. These are, I almost forgot, these are the Classico spaghetti jars that I'm using for this. And they are this exact jar. You can see it's the Atlas Mason. It says right on the side. It also says it under this label. But those are the jars. And they are 1.5 pints. And I have a couple of the lids. I'm going to do 2 with these lids. I have plenty of other lids, but I'm going to do those just for you so you can see them. And now we've got these full. I am just going to put my funnel on, and we're going to fill these up with this hot water. And just up to that 1-inch mark. Now there is a ton of ways you can do this, but I think this works perfectly. It keeps them nice and yummy. You've still got your oranges all winter long. Goodness. And then we're going to debubble. You can see the bubbles coming up. You want to make sure you move everything in there because these really hold the air in. And you can see if your water level drops too low, after you debubble, you can re-add just a tiny bit more to fix it. So everything is covered. And there we have it. So once our jar is full, we're just going to make sure the rim is nice and clean. And we're going to add a lid and a ring. And this baby is ready for the canner. So I'm going to put this in the hot water bath canner and get the other jar finished. Ball always recommends to use a new unused lid every time. I did have someone ask me about using these Classico lids and the Classico jars, so I'm doing this to show her how I do it, but this is not a recommended practice, but I do it for myself. So, and it works for me. So she asked and I am sharing. All right, so we're just gonna fill this one up just like the other one with that 1-inch headspace. And then I'm going to debubble. You can see those little bubbles coming up. All right, and just want to make sure everything's underwater. And then I'm going to wipe the rim. We're only using hot water, so there's not much of a chance there's too much on the ring, so that I'm just using a dry paper towel today because I'm just using water. And then we're going to use this Classico lid. Again, Ball does not recommend this, nor does the USDA or anybody that I know of, but I do it and it works for me. So these lids, you can see they have a rubber ring inside. I've heated it up in the warm water with my other lids, and I'm just going to put it on and 2 fingers tight, just like all of my others, and this is ready to go in the canner. And I am going to continue to fill jars, and I will bring you back. Okay, so once we have our jars all filled and in the canner, I have turned this up on high. We're gonna bring this to a boil. Once this is to a rolling boil, we're gonna set our timer and process it for 10 minutes. And then once it hits the 10 minutes, we'll turn it off and let them sit in the canner for 5 minutes. Then we'll pull them out. And that is it to canning oranges. It's a simple project. It doesn't take all that long. peeling them and getting them all ready to go in the jars is definitely the longest, hardest part of the whole project. But then you just pack your jars, quick and easy, just hot water. You can do it in a simple syrup if you wanted them to be a little sweeter, but these oranges were super sweet all on their own, so just a little hot water was all they needed. And the lids back here, the Classico lid, if you just press on these, you can tell that they're sealed. They'll pop if they're not. And that one's all sealed. And we got one over here. These are still really hot, so this one has not sealed yet. That's one of the ball lids, but sometimes it takes a few minutes for them to seal up, and that's okay. We got time. They're gonna sit here all night, and I will clean them up in the morning. And oranges are easy and wonderful to add to recipes in the winter. They're a must-have in our pantry. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.